the myth for today is every day is coding day. And we actually got the person who wrote this, who gave me this myth, right about this. So he said, so people mistaken that programmers write code all day, every day. However, the reality is that programmers don't code every day. We spend a significant time in meetings discussing other technical aspects such as system/code design, testing standards, deployment strategies, service management, maintainability, release phase, etc. But this varies depending on your level and organization. So this meaning like not 24/7, but every time you're at work, your work only contains programming is what they're saying. If your work is 8 hours long, normally what other job has is like meeting for like a couple of hours. And then they have like, you know, another meeting about the new release, yada, yada, yada. And then something else and something else. But then programmers, on the other hand, don't have any meetings, but it's straight up just work. Code. Maybe they'll have like lunch, alone. They're just working. Oh, and then another meaning about the meeting. That's true. Why did people think that you guys code every day? A meeting to schedule more meetings? So tell me the real schedule for coders. Is this true or is this kind of like, okay, no, we don't? And you have to tell me like most of the time, I think. Since you can't be like, well, yesterday I had like 10 meetings as a programmer, but normally I program 24/7. So it actually depends on your role. So let's begin with entry level. How is the meeting held? Is it most meetings handled in Slack now? Now it's Discord. Probably because the antisocial stereotype coming in, and a lot of people did choose the coding career path with the idea they wouldn't have to talk to people. Coding is top job responsibility on the job description? Probably. Who has been a entry level in other companies who wants to talk to me about how often did you program? So of the 8 hours, you only program 3 hours? Then what the heck did you do for the other like 5 hours? Let's say like had meetings? A Twitch? 5 hours useless meetings. You nap 5 hours? Let's start out with how long are you guys in front of the computer as an entry level? And that would include planning or I guess debugging. If you open the programming app and do something on it, even if it's debugging or I guess documentation. So now because I don't think it's 3 hours. I think during the entry level you would program for like 6 hours, no? And then maybe like 1 hour is lunchtime. And then the 1 hour is like meeting with your boss. And then after entry level, what's after entry level? Is it like manager? Tech lead. Oh. So then from here, how often do you program? Entry level, a majority of your time is spent coding, trying to problem solve, and then you might have a meeting a day to check up with your progress. They want you to build your thinking skills on real problem. Yeah, so it makes sense. Isn't it like 6 hours of working? I pay my workers that day, but our lunch is more like 20 minutes. Oh, okay. So let's talk about senior and junior. Now you're a bit more experienced. Do you spend less hours, 6 hours? The moment you get a lick of experience, you get thrown into meetings. So guys, let's now talk about seniors and juniors. How often do you guys like code? Like you open one of those programming things and you like do something with it. Even if it's just reading the code or doing something with it. 5 hours? I still think around this is like 5 hours. Even if you leveled up, I think it's still like of the 8 hours or 9 hours you spent, it'll be like 6 hours. Half a day? So now it's shrink to 4 hours? Half the time on a focus day. So you guys actually divide by which day you guys are actually focusing. Are we counting looking up Stack Overflow and documentation? Yeah, let's count those because that's part of programming, right? Depending on the team, but in case of you build it, you ship it, dev are also doing production support. So is production support like CS role? We aren't counting planning how the code will execute. Just the writing. Yeah, just the writing. Right, because depending where we are in the sprint, the work can change. Ah. So can I just ask, okay, since no one's name has been revealed, are there times where you don't have to do anything with your code? So you just sit around watching Twitch? Like, has that ever happened to you at work? Yes or no? So you guys just sit at work watching me and getting paid? Hey, you should pay me then. If that happened to you, pay me. I've walked in seeing it before. Really? Don't tell anyone. Okay, it's a secret between you and me, but now I have something to go against you, so you better. So isn't it hard to be a freelancer? Wouldn't you rather, as a programmer, be part of the company? Because if you have much more of a free time in a company, isn't that better? So is it not true in programming, when higher you get, less labor work you do, and you do more planning and overseeing? That's probably the same thing, I guess, with programmers too. And they have a lot of meetings they have to go through. If you get lots of stuff done, you'll be given more work. Yeah, but you just don't have to, you know, tell them about it, right? Be like, yeah, and keep rolling your eyes. Production support, being contacted by user to investigate bug. Oh, read logs and monitoring dashboard, preparing the release of the bug fix. Oh, we can't really base it off of your job position, but I guess programmers do have other things. And the higher position you get, the less you're actually coding. And I guess you do more of planning and making people work for you. I'm lucky if I can get 3 hours of programming. Because you're higher position, it becomes more PowerPoint. So you do more PowerPoint. So I guess the reality is that every day, instead of saying coding day, it's more like every day is computer day. Whether it is programming, as you get a higher job position, you rarely do, or PowerPoint. I think the myth has been busted. And also that those who are college students who want to be programmers because you don't like interacting with people, well, sorry guys, you actually do have to interact. And guys, work on your PowerPoint skill, because apparently the higher you go, like you go up, the more PowerPoint you have to do. That's all of the myth for today. Congratulations on busting the myth.